Yo, 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 once again, we back. This is with Just a Messengers podcast. Of course, I'm Mo.
I'm Mike.
I got my dog Drew Money on the boards, of course.
How y'all feeling?
Feeling good. Got my dog Mac from Houston in the building with us today. How you doing, big dog?
I'm living, you know what I'm saying? We finally made it to the big league. This is where I want to be. So Mike, I was I've been watching y'all's podcast and whatnot, and I enjoy watching y'all do y'all thing. Episode casual conversation, and I want to be a part of this, so I'm just glad to be here.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, my dog
That's what's up.
been a day one supporter, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you, bro.
It's absolutely no problem.
Yeah, man. So tell the people about yourself, man.
My name is Mac, 25 years old, one of the youngest Houston rap historians and archivists in my city. You know what I'm saying? So one of my biggest things right now is documenting Houston's rap culture for our upcoming museum. Now, Houston has never had a Houston Rap Museum. We don't have a rock museum. We have a Natural Science Museum, an art museum, and a contemporary art museum. So this is very big for the city in the sense of, there were independent labels in the South that were making millions of dollars off these just independent labels. And Houston being one of the being one of the forefronts of Southern rap, we had a lot going on. There was millions, literally millions being made. Dope House Records, Suave House, Rex Shop, Shortstops Records, Swisher House. I could go on for days.
Right.
As far as this is concerned. But
Yeah, you just had opened up a store recently, right?
say again?
You had just opened up a store recently, right?
Of course. Well, not a store, but we did a pop up.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We did a pop up at a studio space, and I got to showcase a lot of what I have. I got over 300 plus cassettes. Still collecting vinyls. Houston rap memorabilia. From tees, promo, t-shirts, promo stuff from tours. I think one of my most valuable pieces right now, and I felt very indifferent when I had to buy it, but I felt like it had to be a part of the set, was I have DJ Screw's Obituary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So I felt like that had to be, like a piece of the set that I definitely had to show off. That along with my, illustrious few screw tapes that I have. People don't know that, these tapes is actually worth a lot. And just to go out of my way to work the way I do and hustle for what I want to do, just for people to come back and be like, how do you acquire these types of things? And be like, how do you even know about these types of things? It's very big. It's very big to me to just go back and be able to research and know what was going on in my city. Because one of the biggest rap collectives in Houston is South Park Coalition. But we always hear about, you hear about Screwed Up Click.
Uh-huh.
You can hear about the Swisher House. Screwed Up Click really did run a great sum of what the 90s were, just for Swisher House to come and be the forefront of commercial success in the early 2000s. So Houston has always had their sound. We've always had, a very pivotal sound. Motherfuckers was doing shows at South by Southwest. I'm still pulling up old shows from South by Southwest with like the Black Monks, Mr. 32, Convicts. It's a lot, just hitting people with random hip hop facts. I just told my partner the other day. He was talking to me about some Snoop Dogg story that was going on, and trying to figure out like where they went wrong at Death Row. And we were talking about Southern artists that were getting signed to Death Row, such as the Convicts. And he's like, I didn't know that the Convicts had left rap a lot to go sign with Suge. And we're like, that was a very short-lived moment. They made it to a roster. There was nothing really set that they put out. But if you hop on YouTube, they have a few songs. I think it's like 2 or 3 songs they might have that were unreleased. And you get to see, Mr. 32, his lyrical stance. And then you can hear Snoop, and you can kind of hear where Snoop got a little bit of his style from. Harvey Love, one of, Houston's most prestigious producers even said, uh, you can hear it in like the way Snoop talks
Mm-hmm.
and how when they were around, Snoop was still young, so it's easy to a lot of the, his style and whatnot being influenced. So
Did you tell
I
me?
don't know.
Did you tell me your pops had some ties like within the industry too?
Oh, most definitely. So my father, Will Strickland. All right. So I think it really started when he was going to Rice University. He was one of the first. He was one of the first DJs to have his own, rap syndicated radio station at Rice University. That's one. Two, he was the first person to have "Tell Me Something Good" by UGK play over Rice University waves, and the reaction that they got
That's amazing.
That's what's up.
one of the reactions that they got out of it, it was constant. They were receiving constant calls for the playback of the song over the course of the whole like night coming into the morning. And if I don't recall, he also told me that after that happened, they end up him and Bun end up going to, I believe, Shipley's and splitting the donut holes and some chocolate milk and just sitting down and talking about what the future holds as far as UGK's music careers are concerned and whatnot. So that was interesting. His rap sheet is actually amazing. It's absolutely amazing. From working at Rap a Lot, working at RCA, he helped Wu-Tang Clan get signed to RCA. So
Man, that's what's up.
if you go back and look at the credits on the back of Into the 36 Chambers, or even if you listen to Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With, when they're shouting out people at the end of the song, shout out Gavin Wu, Will Strickland, people from the source, shit like that. It's in there, and the impact is so deep that the RZA still talks about it to this very day. It was a lot of shit.
Man, that's what's up, man. So I got a question for you. So who's your favorite out of Houston all time, and like who's the one that you like right now, who's upcoming, who might not have no big notoriety like that?
That's a good question. Damn. I couldn't say Face. I didn't really, I grew to love Face due to my dad, but I can't say Face myself. I have to say Mr. 32. I have to say Mr. 32. Mr. 32 had such a braggadocious style. It was smooth. It was sort of like, as far as his style was concerned, I felt like I was seeing what E40 is to the Bay is what I felt Mr. 32 was to Houston.
Right.
So kind of like real slick and slide, slick and slide in his flows. He can switch his flows multiple ways, and at the end of the day, you're gonna get the message in the song, and you're gonna like the song. If you don't like the song, then there was something on the album that he had for you. You got Hit the Highway with what was it? Hit the Highway with Short Dog. You got songs with 8 Ball and MJG, UGK. Had the first verse on One Day in UGK's Riding Dirty album. I don't know. It's always been about Mr. 32. From just like Black Monks, being one of the original members of the Ghetto Boys, ended up breaking off doing the Convicts, then end up going solo and doing his solo career, still being a Screwed Up Click member and being signed to Rap a Lot Records. It's a lot. His track sheet was amazing, and I wish I could have met him before he passed. As far as current day artists, there's an artist from here in Southwest Houston, and I have been watching him I have been watching dude since I was in high school, and just to see his artistry get him to this point, he just did a song produced by Monty Booker and Kenny Beats. His name is Reginald Helms from Southwest Houston, Texas, and he signed to Stomp Down Records, same label that Maxo is signed to. So he's managed by Uncle Toby, who's also Maxo's manager and whatnot. And just to know that he went from being just went from being a rapper to now being this. I guess you could say like it has soul elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back and if you look up Reginald Holmes, Southside Fade or I Don't Want to Cry Anymore, you know, they're great songs. He just right now it's the time that he's building up to an album. We're ready for the album. Waiting on a lot of Houston artists to drop, but that one specifically, I think that I'm very excited for Reggie. I'm proud of his progress.
Word, that's what's up. When's the Screws movie supposed to come out?
The All Screwed Up. They actually released it. I'm not gonna say too much on the actual what they did to the All Screwed Up. It's supposed to be like a short biopic. I watched it. It's on YouTube right now. I didn't really care for it. That's as much as I'm gonna say about it. There could have been a million other things that could have been documented in the movie.
I thought it was actually supposed to be like in theaters type. I remember seeing like a trailer for it.
Yeah, they COVID, COVID.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be select showings at theaters around the city. So I was gonna do a theater on the south side, theater on the north side, one in East End, one in the southwest. But I think they did do a shorthand showing, and they did a pop up for it and everything. The pop up was more, I felt like the pop up was more solid than actually going to see the movie. I watched the movie. I stopped while I'm on my route at work, and I ended up turning it on. And I watched, I think the first 15, 20 minutes. After watching the first 15, 20 minutes, I just started skimming through it. I'm like, this was very poor to me. It was, I understand people have a budget to meet and whatnot, but when you die, I don't know. They do what's right for the brand, but not for the legacy. And it's always been that as far as biopics are concerned. Like, they did Aaliyah's biopic, Filthy. They got Flex playing Michael Jackson. Big violation.
No, that shit was nasty.
Come on, man.
That Flex and Michael Jackson one was the nastiest one, bro.
They not gonna let Flex live that one down.
Hell no.
No, I'm telling you, it was a violation. You can't. It was a deep violation, and people just accepted that, or there was outrage to it. But at least we got some funny memes out of it. So
I think if that Flex movie came out like in current times, that shit would have got pulled. With social media and shit like that, like that Flex movie wouldn't have survived back then.
Same way they did the Michael Jordan.
Right, yeah, they did the Michael Jordan filthy too.
That was bogus. That was bogus.
I don't even think he was wearing Jordans in that shit though. Like
Even the Chicago jersey was like some
Yeah.
off red.
They had to. I think there was supposed to be they had some type of copyright shit against that. That's the reason why he couldn't wear Jordans on it. If that was the case, I would have just did the whole if anything,
It would have been no purpose
They
in my
should've-
opinion. It would
I
be no
would just
need.
put tape. I would just put wrap tape around the shoes and be like, all right, we're gonna wrap. You know what I'm saying? That way they can't say, all right, well, we know those are Jordans, but at the same time they're wrapped up, so it's like you can't really say anything about it
Yeah.
unless they're gonna,
Or
hit
cover the
you with-
logo or something.
They probably hit
But
you.
then at that point, it would have just been it would have been pointless. I would even have ran that shit. I forgot about that movie.
yeah, I
actually.
forgot about that.
That shit was
It
It
nasty.
came around the same time the
It
Michael
was that
Jackson one
bad.
came on.
It was that bad. But as far as biopics nowadays, I think the best one I've seen lately, I just got done watching that Billie Holiday joint on Hulu, and she did an amazing job. I can't remember the actress's name, but she did an amazing job playing Billie Holiday. And I didn't know that they was really throwing heroin charges at this woman. They knew she was a heroin they knew she was an addict, and they were really trying to send her to jail for singing a song about people being lynched in America, black people being lynched in America. It was a very prominent thing, and ended up being one of the songs to light the fire as far as social issues in America at the time, So
I gotta check that out. I had a chance to
Yeah,
check that out.
it's real good, but it seemed like that was the whole movie. And be like, all right, well, I'm gonna sing, and be like, no, fuck that. We're gonna throw this heroin charge at you. No
Yeah.
conspiracy charge. We got you on possession every single time, and you keep letting, you know what I'm saying? You keep letting them, like, it just keeps happening. And I'm like, all right, this is monotonous. But it was still good because she could sing, the acting was there and whatnot. So, multiple aspects of that. It was a good movie.
Word,
So,
that's
I'll take it for what it was.
That's what's up. You had a chance to check out Ray and Ghost versus last night. Mo, you had a chance to check that out.
I caught some
I
of it.
watched part of it. I'm not going to lie. Listen. Ghost came out in those two tones. I was like, yeah, I gotta go get me some.
You know, those Wallies, those Wallies was cold, bro.
There was the Mink coat. He took it off, and then the New York coat. I'm like, no.
Yeah, he flexed on Ray last night. I can't front.
It was fly. If I was Ray, I'm a big fan of the purple. What is it? The purple tape Diodoras.
Yeah.
So I would have came out. I like purple. So, you know, as black people, I think we need to all like purple due to the fact that it's supposed to be a color of royalty.
Yeah, my mom told me that a long time ago.
I would have came out royal purple the fuck up. Crown bottle, everything. Everything. Gold chains, purple finishes, white tee, my purple tape Diodoras. I even got the purple tape in here right now. I would even stop playing with that, man. But who do y'all think took it last night, honestly?
I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I thought it was just a vibe, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wasn't really putting them against each other.
I think it's starting to become that now. Like, it's just more of I know some people for the sport like to still like scoring and stuff like that, but I think, if I had to choose, I think Ghost probably got the best of them. I didn't get to see the ending so much, but I caught the beginning because I was back and forth watching the tournament games and shit, so...
The Gucci Man and Jeezy took the competitive sport out of it, man. Like, I can't. After that, it's more of a celebration thing.
I definitely felt very indifferent about that one because I'm a fan of both of them to a degree, but I'm a very high end Jeezy fan, and I stopped being a high end Jeezy fan after what he did to Freddie Gibbs, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I was like, I saw Gucci do that shit, stood up and he was like, yeah, you smoking on Pookie Love tonight. I put my phone face down. I said, yeah, I'm going to go make me some food. I couldn't talk. I was like, you know, we done said some disrespectful shit in this life, but like, I'm like, you know, it really didn't come as to any surprise. But the fact that niggas did it while you in the same room as them, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to say it with your chest. And Gucci definitely did that. So there's a respect aspect for being able to do that in the face of your opposition. Mm-hmm. At the same time, you're going to tell this dude, yeah, nigga, I smoked your partner. Go dig your homeboy up. I bet he can't say shit. And if you're looking for me, I'm going to be up. Man, stop playing. That man, I don't know. Gucci,
that was a heavy moment, man. Like it's a lot to unpack from that moment. You're right. So I don't know, man.
It was different.
Who you feel is the best out? Who you feel is the best out the Wu?
Out of Wu?
Mm-hmm.
The person that didn't really get to live up to their full potential. Old Dirty Bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Old Dirty Bastard, just for the simple fact, it wasn't just the music, it was the personality.
The persona.
Yeah. And hearing the stories that my mother had to tell me all right, so I'm going to put it like this. Wu-Tang could have really been the end of my life. We're going to put it like that. Wu-Tang could have been, was really going to be my demise. First show they ever played in Houston, my dad had them, I think, on the south side. Came out and was like, yo, what's up, Houston, this, that, and the other. And a bunch of just like hard body niggas that didn't want to hear that shit. It was always rap about shit. So you got these motherfuckers from New York coming out to Houston trying to do a show. Southern niggas is not having that. My mother was pregnant with me at the time. She was a few months pregnant with me at the time. My dad had her stand off the side of the stage and shit like that in case something happened. He was like, I already know that there's something going to happen. They come out, they're getting ready to perform. You're like, yeah, where you from? How you doing? And the Jizza put the mic in the crowd, and my dad said it was some light skinned nigga. This nigga had braids and a wife beater on. Dude took the mic and was like, yeah, take that bitch ass shit back up to New York. Jizza grabbed the mic. He was like, all right, bet. He was like, that's how you gonna do us, Houston? That's a bet. Grabbed the bottle of Moet, shook it up, sprayed the crowd, and then threw the bottle. Next thing you know, niggas are getting chased down the highway. My mother was pregnant with me at the time. So whenever I got the opportunity to actually sit down with my dad and talk about that story, and he even called RZA. He called RZA on the phone, and I actually got to talk to him on the phone. Like, yo, did this really happen? Like, yeah. He's like, yeah, shit was fucked up. I'm like, I got to meet all of y'all so I could blame y'all individually for almost being my demise. I'm like, it's gonna start off as on some fan shit, but it's like, damn, Wu-Tang really could have been the end of me, and that would have been crazy to me. But my mother got stories about how she was in the elevator with Meth. Meth got a lot of personality. Her, Meth, and ODB in the elevator farting and shit. And my mother trying to get out the elevator. Old Dirty Bastard stealing records from the record store. He got a whole lot of stories. It's amazing to see what that man has done, and I'm trying to do something a little bit better. But I would have definitely loved to see how further Old Dirty Bastard would have went. I would have definitely lived for it.
Word, that's what's up. I think overall what Versus did, we didn't get a chance. Well, I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. You know, I was on vacation and stuff like that, so that's why we missed last week for all the listeners. But you know, Versus recently just had that deal done with Trilla, and actually, what I appreciated most about that deal with Tim and Swiss is that how like all the artists who've already performed have some equity within it too. So that was amazing for them to pull that off. So like all 42 artists who like participated so far in the Versus, they got some equity within that whole deal. So I'd be interested to see, because I don't have Trilla actually. So is it an app itself or
It's like TikTok, a video editing app.
What, Trilla?
Yeah.
I think Trilla came before TikTok, so
Yeah.
a lot of the artists was really doing videos on Trilla first, like Black Youngster, DaBaby, when DaBaby was like DaBaby before. With
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so niggas was getting on there.
I think Pop Smoke was on there too.
Yeah, a lot of people use it before
Yeah.
TikTok.
So that's where it started, and then I guess TikTok came along. It was like, nah, fuck that. We got better videos. We got better filters. Y'all want to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all want to make a reel. Y'all want to make videos. Come to TikTok, and that was the big ordeal. So you don't really see that much from Trilla nowadays.
Yeah, but that's real dope that they did that. They got a Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Isley Brothers on Easter Sunday. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh, I'm in
This
there.
would be amazing.
Facts.
I'm in there. That sound amazing off top.
Hell yeah. Like just for the sport, who we going with in that battle?
That's a tough one, man.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah,
I feel like Earth, Wind, and Fire with
Earth,
Edgem.
Wind, and Fire.
I feel like Earth, Wind, and Fire with Edgem.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good battle though. For real.
It's gonna be amazing. I want to see them do. I want to see them do somebody versus SOS Band. I think that'd be interesting.
That would
too.
be good too.
Gap
trying to
Band.
see-
Gap
Yeah.
Band
I already
versus
got- I already
SOS.
got my money on SOS Band. That I don't care who they go up against. I already got my money on SOS Band. That's a solid. I think I've started to debunk a lot of like rap tracks, if not just like good music, based off the fact that I found a lot of like rap samples that that came from just SOS Band songs. So
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd be able to put something together. You know, I'm still missing. You know, I've been talking about this a lot, but you know, I'm still waiting for my Jodeci and Drew Hill battle, but I don't think we'll ever get that. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see.
We're not gonna be able to see that one. We're not gonna be able to see that one. I think Jodeci would take that though. Not to discredit Drew Hill, I think Jodeci
Oh
would
no, I
definitely
think
take
yeah, I wouldn't because they both my favorites, but I definitely would I definitely could see them coming out on top with that one.
How long is the track list supposed the set track list supposed to be? It's like what, 10 songs a piece?
It's usually 20.
It's 20?
Mm-hmm. So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, both of them definitely got 20 records that they can hop out with. So
Most definitely.
I'm interested to see also like because I'm kind of happy for the Triller deal, but I also had liked it when it was on Apple too because I could just listen to it like on Apple Radio and shit like that. So and still scroll the TL and engage with the timeline while
So
battles.
they're not
was
on
going
Apple no more at all.
Nah, when I checked it last night, it wasn't on there.
I know they was on the Versus Instagram page, but I didn't see it on. You're right, I didn't see it on Apple. So Triller, you telling me Triller came with a bigger bag than Apple?
That's what it said. That's what it sounded like to me.
It seemed like a lot of people come up with a bigger bag than Apple. Apple might as well just give it up if that's the case.
I just feel like they even like with. I'm surprised they wasn't able to get like even with podcasting like somebody like Rogan or like Pick Up Button or it just seemed like they be content with where they at. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, or they just maybe not be interested in picking up certain deals because they had a good thing going with the verses. Like, people can get on the the Apple Radio and listen to the verses and still like scroll a timeline like because it's kind of hard to watch it unless like you got it like somebody like on YouTube to watch it like just for the video aspect.
Right.
Or like most of the time, like if you don't have no access to really watch it, you could just listen to it. So that's what I appreciated about the verses the most. Like that was one of the positive things that I took away from the corona, like the whole pandemic was getting that because we used to always just have like barbershop talk about like who can win this if they was to go head to head and stuff like that. Like so.
That's what's up.
UGK definitely.
Ooh, hold on, wait. We're not even gonna get into this one. I'm gonna be honest with you. The homie Donnie Houston definitely was the first. Was one of the first people to talk about it. Like, when are we gonna get the verses with UGK and A Ball and MJG? And when he said that, I had people. I had posted that, and I got people calling my phone trying to figure out. Like, so what are you gonna do about this? Because now, he's like, what are you gonna do about this? And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I gonna do about this? And I'm like, there's nothing really I can do. He's like, no. He's like, who are you sitting on? Who are you sitting with as far as like who's gonna take the verses? I'm like, it's really hard.
It'll be a close one. It'll be a close one.
I don't feel like it would be a close one. I just feel like I have a lot. Both set groups have a lot of great music. And
so you rolling with the home team on that one?
It's hard. They both the home team, even because I was born in Tennessee, but I was raised in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, we got artists from Tennessee that's under a Houston label, and then we got artists from Port Arthur that really represent Houston. So it's kind of it's hard, I think if we want to talk about from a commercial aspect, I'm definitely riding with UGK. Lyrically, I'm still trying to figure out because I can't. If you can look at me and name a bad Bun B verse, I'll give up everything that I have in my. You know what I'm saying? I'll give up all my tapes. That's a real I don't think. I done said this out loud to my partner. I got a Cuban partner from Florida, and he's like, "Yeah, Bun's verse on Murder was by far one of the worst rap verses I've ever heard." I was like,
Murder with Sean Kingston?
Huh?
The Murder track that has Sean Kingston on it?
You said say one more time?
Is that the track that has Sean Kingston on it?
No.
What's Murder track you talking about?
So it was all Murder off Riding Dirty.
Oh, all right. I got you.
So you just came in. You got Pimp's verse first, and then this Bun B bitch, and I'm the king of moving chickens. It's Bun B bitch. I'm the king of moving chickens. Not them finger lickings. Like that whole verse, and then nigga had the audacity to tell me, he's like, yeah, that was a bad verse. I'm like, nah, dog. My nigga, you listen to like You listen to weirdo shit. Nigga listen to weirdo shit and then try and talk to me about Florida artists and this, that, and the other. He tried to debunk Beat King and talk to me about how Beat King stole a lot of his style from Uncle Luke. And I'm like, no, it's not style. It was influence. And the same thing, he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of Florida artists that Texas had taken from me. Like, yeah, dog. I'm like, I'm not about to have this conversation. We could agree to disagree, whatever. Until you could show me that, Florida was making millions of dollars off independent record labels, and more than, show me more than Trick Daddy, show me more than Trina, show me more than Rick Ross, show me other Florida artists in the late '80s, if not early '90s, that was really doing their thing like that, to where you can make this statement. Until then, I got archives of music. I got history facts. I've met these artists and whatnot. You're not going to, tell me otherwise. It's just not going to sit like that. It's not what's happening.
I feel you on that. What's your favorite UGK album?
Definitely Riding Dirty. We got One Day. You got One Day. You got Murder. You got what else? What was another good song off Riding Dirty? I can't recall at the top of my head, but I got my cassette signed by Bun. Just got that signed like 2 years ago, and talking to him about how this is like one of the most life-altering albums. Whether it be, screwed, not screwed, it's just good, feel good music that you could ride around to, go handle your business and whatnot. As far as like second album, I gotta put the actual Underground Kings album. That one was a great album. That was another great album. So.
Yeah, so I remember you hit me last week. Well, you hit me last week. That's how we was able to finally get you on the show, because you had you had some bars you wanted to get off in terms of like the 2 Chainz and Ludacris conversation.
Oh. Hold on. All right, so right now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who 2 Chainz is. I know Titty Boy. I don't know who 2 Chainz is. We know Titty Boy. We know Titty Boy from DTP. We know Titty Boy when he was putting out these Codeine Cowboy tapes. Soon as he started going under 2 Chainz and actually receiving that commercial success, I don't feel like we got the same artist. So I already know that whoever said that Luda couldn't do it, I feel like Luda could definitely come back. If he like really sit down and dedicates his time, he could definitely hop back in the flow of everything. But I feel like a lot of niggas would look at it like, all right, so Ludacris just put out an album. He's like, nigga, what are we doing now?
Yeah, I feel like too much.
That's what I feel like.
I feel like album wise, I wouldn't want a Ludacris album. I'm just talking in terms of like rapping. Like if he was to hop on a song right now with 2 Chainz, I feel like he would outdo him.
Of course.
That was just my personal opinion on it.
But you know what I'm saying? Right now he's focused on his family and his artistry, so I don't think that rapping is, at that point, once you've already gotten into niggas is getting a bag off of acting.
Yeah, that's his artistry now.
Off the same series of, all right, cool, we gonna make how we turn a racing movie into a full blown action series of films.
Them niggas out of space now.
Man got what was the latest thing I just saw? Man is a pilot now.
Yeah, like he fly planes and shit. That nigga not rapping no more, man.
No, like real life. Imagine getting on a flight, whether you going to Atlanta or you going out of country and shit like that, and be like, our pilot Ludacris, and like, nigga, let me take out my headphones real quick. And be like, did he just say Ludacris is our pilot? And then Ludacris come out. I'd be like, dog, I'm getting off the plane. There's no trust factor there. I'm not about to trust my life in a rapper that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just make him out to be a rapper, but I know Ludacris as an artist. I don't know this man as like, anything else. I can't see him doing anything else. Even though I acknowledge him being an actor, it still doesn't sit right with me. It just doesn't like, I don't know. Like what happens to the nigga with the braids and these fat ass lamb chop ass sideburns? You know, shit I grew up listening to as a kid just to see this man act now. No, it just doesn't sit right with me. And also as a pilot, no, that's not. No, I'm hopping off the plane. I'll wait for the next one. I'm cool.
I feel that same way about like, you know, a lot of artists, like former artists, not former, I mean, he's still artists, but like artists who like went into acting, like I just look at them like as like Tyrese. Like sometimes I forget that nigga was a singer. Like this nigga is really like an actor now, and it's like I forgot at a point in time this nigga had one of the best R&B albums of '98, and then it's like now it's just like you ain't no singer, nigga, you an actor now, like. So I can understand when people be like, man, nigga ain't trying to hear no Ludacris album in 2021, which I understand it. But just like in terms of, you know, they was a hop on the track together, like I feel like he would outdo him. That's not to say Chainz don't do his thing. I mean, he just did his thing on Benny's on album. So, you know, I just feel like when it just comes to like that rapping, like I just feel like, nah, if Luda was to sit down like you said and like really dedicated, like just basically just get back in the gym, like get back in shape. It takes time for an artist, you know, especially a rapper who's dedicated to his pen work, like, you know, to get back in shape if he's been out of game for a minute.
Right. But what type of all right, if that was the case, and we're like, all right, we gon' if they were like, all right, we're gonna run the verses right now. And we're gonna do DTP, current and in the past life. And they bring both artists back. And I'm not sure 2 Chainz still has animosity with Ludacris, whatever the situation may be. And they were like, all right, we're gonna pull 20 songs. And then we're gonna pull 20 songs. Last song is gonna be some new shit. And like how much time do you think Luda would have to do, you know, get in order to make that new song? Or because we already know Luda got songs. But just to prepare and make a new song.
It depends on what type of angle he's trying to come with, and you know, shit like that. So it would all depend. I feel like if it came down to a new song, 2 Chainz definitely gonna.
Didn't he play new shit during his Nelly battle?
He did play a couple of new tracks during his
How
Nelly
did them
shit.
shit sound, huh?
It wasn't really nothing I was trying to hear.
And he had time for that Nelly battle.
But I think they was doing more so that for like because of the interlude and shit like that. And then, you know, Nelly had the fucked up Wi-Fi and shit. But in terms of the new songs, no, it wasn't nothing that I was trying to hear. But 2 Chainz has evolved with the time, and he was the like, that's why to me he's ageless. I don't look at him like as is he 40 something? He's like 41, 42?
Yeah, he's like 43.
I don't look at him as like he's one of those artists who is like he's just ageless to me. He's like, why is this nigga still rapping? Like he's a rapper who's been able to adapt with the times, and like, you know, his rebrand was one of the best rebrands we've had in rap history. So as far as if it came out to a new song, yeah, 2 Chainz definitely would get him on that tip for sure.
All right.
But just like if they was to like I asked a question, like if they was to do like a Welcome to Atlanta remix again like in 2021, I feel like yeah, Luda would get on there and do exactly what he did the first time around.
Who do you think would be on that remix though?
It would have to be some new niggas.
I know Baby and Thug on there for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna sound. Is it still gonna be along the lines of that like same beat, or are they gonna switch the aspect of the
I
beat?
think you should keep the beat.
Keep the beat, like just make it more updated, like how Young Bird be flipping on R&B songs. Mm-hmm. Get a nigga to flip it and make it like some new sounding Welcome to Atlanta beat.
Either way, I still think they would skate on it.
Yeah, either way, yeah, hell yeah. Like that beat not really like a aged beat.
Nah,
like,
that beat is hard as fuck.
Yeah, that beat's still hard like today. So, you know, if they was to keep the same old beat, like I feel like Thug, I know Lil Baby would skate on that shit, but I know Thug would do his thing on there. And if they had like, you know, two younger niggas, 2 older niggas, that shit would be hard. Let Jermaine Dupri, you know, do little ad-libs all over it. That shit would be hard.
All right. I think I can see it now that you done broke it down a little bit more. I think I can see it though. What was Speaking of Lil Baby, after listening to that little Scary Hours Part 2, I was gonna ask you how you felt about that.
Oh, I liked it. Like I liked all three songs. I felt like Lil Baby did his thing on Wants and Needs. Like I like Lemon Pepper Freestyle, and I liked What's Next. I felt like all of them was dope. What you thought?
I'm gonna say this with all the animosity in my chest. I'm not a big Aubrey fan. I ain't been a big Aubrey fan since mixtape days. And I'm not calling that man by what he want to be addressed by. That man is Aubrey. That man's mama named him Aubrey. I'm gonna call him Aubrey. Simple as that. So I'm very big on lyricism. So the idea that this man, I don't know, maybe I'm just showing like I'm big on fucking.
Now go ahead, talk your shit, man.
No, I'm big on the room for improvement mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? So Far Gone.
Mm-hmm.
First two albums was good. Started coming into other albums like Nothing Was the Same and Views and whatnot. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm here more so for the production versus what you're actually saying at this point. And I'm listening to what you're saying, it's just not resonating with me.
Mm-hmm.
Versus when he did the whole like, all right, we're gonna give you all the throwaway tracks in an album. That Care Package was by far the closest thing to what I wanted to hear in a Drake album, even though he didn't release this on any it was singles. These songs were all
like Lucy's. Yeah.
So I'm like, why did it take me so long to put this in like a form of a tape though? That's what I sit on because shit, one of my favorite tracks by him is 5 a.m. in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I be having people people be on my ass about him, be like, oh, but you don't like his music and this, that, and the other. I'm like, but that one right there, it was just like
that's his best AM PM track in my opinion.
To piggyback on what you've been saying, like that's kind of why I just want to hear the R&B type shit, because when it comes to like the rap shit with bruh, it's like I kind of feel like I done heard all I can hear from bruh. So it's like he's good at the R&B shit to me. So to me, I just feel like that's what he's best at. That's what I'm here for when it come to dog. So I mean,
it's kind of hard to keep up with him because they putting him, he kind of hops in the mix of everything. He done did songs with Hispanic artists. He done learned. He done did like UK drill or the grime. He done did grime shit. He done did. So this next album, I'm really wondering. Outside of like, I already know his name, Loverboy, but whatever Certified Loverboy, whatever this shit is called. Like, what aspect he's gonna jump into next? Because his last album was what? He was in the UK for it, or like, you think he's gonna take up like Caribbean accent this next album, or he has to do something different each album.
The Caribbean shit was 2016.
That was 2016.
Mm-hmm. That was Views.
What do you think he's gonna do now?
And then honestly, go ahead. My bad.
And then also knowing that Kendrick drops at the same time that he drops, how do you think this is gonna work?
I mean, honestly, as far as certified lover boy, I don't know what to expect. I think Just Blaze was on Twitter last week saying that it's like he just listened to it and he said it was like controversial, but he said it's real good. So I mean, I don't know what to take away from it. I'm anticipating he might be addressing a lot of shit as far as like the rapping and I think it'll just be a good mixture. Like I think it might be something along the lines of If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, which is my favorite project from him. And in terms of Kendrick Lamar, I mean he ain't dropping 4 years, so ain't no telling if he gonna drop the same time that he drop. If he do, I'm definitely gonna have an ear for it. Every time Kendrick drop, I'm listening to it. So, and it's always good when all them niggas drop around the same time. I remember, was it a podcast episode we had last year? I was like, we need to have a release date when all three of them niggas drop the same day. Like Cole, Drake, Kendrick, like all of them drop the same day. So you can really just, for the sport, see like who really, delivered the project, a quality project on that day. But you know, as far as this is the only time I can say going into like a Drake release, I really don't know what to expect. It could be we could finally just probably get a straight rap album, which I doubt, or we can just get, you know, the heavy R&B side due to the title.
Mhm.
But just based off of what I've seen from the Just Blaze tweets, like, you know, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Cause I know, like, even when Drake's like, you know, Ascension and Rise, like, he caught my attention more so when So Far Gone dropped. So when that tape dropped, it was like, oh shit, like this shit is hard. And especially like, you know, him collabing with, you know, Prince and them, like with with Houston and shit like that, and doing anything, then, you know, them handing the baton off to Wayne in that sense, and them carrying, you know, continuing to carry the torch as far as that. So there's some tracks on there right now that I still like kill to this. I mean, that whole tape hard, to be honest with you. So
It is. It's amazing.
yeah.
Funny thing was about that whole interaction. Wayne didn't even really want to hear Drake at first.
I heard that. I heard about that.
It took Jay Prince, you know, it took Jazz playing his music around Wayne for Wayne to be like, nah, as a matter of fact, like, let me meet dude and this, that, and the other. And then everything else was history from there. They did the deal. They did the deal at the Derrick. You know, Drake makes that known like a lot in his music. I don't know why. Made the deal at the Derrick on Westheimer. And then from there, end up doing one of his first shows at the Warehouse Live. And we haven't seen anything like that since he did like Houston Appreciation Week. Mm-hmm. And I think the last time I can't even recall the last time he did Houston Appreciation Week. I think one of my biggest things as far as that was concerned, I was more frustrated about. It was like, yeah, you know, he gets a whole week in Houston, but Trey can't even host Trey Day out here. Mm-hmm. And Trey has done so much for the city as far as this whole like relief gang. He's, you know, he has this whole relief gang foundation, the Angels by Nature Foundation, which helps a lot of like impoverished families with whatever needs they might need: food, shelter, clothes, the kids getting school supplies and all this. Does all this, you know what I'm saying? So as far as Trey Day is concerned, they'll do all the events in the city. They'll do club events. They'll go to high schools. They'll, you know what I'm saying, meet the kids. All these events, but he just can't perform Trey Day in Houston per se. They would have to do it in like Austin. But you got this, you know, you got this Canadian kid. You get a whole week of appreciation in Houston. They just give anybody the key to Houston. Mm-hmm. Like K. Michelle got a key to Houston. The fuck is K. Michelle done in Houston the way she deserves a key? You know? So, just, no, like for real, like just be giving anybody something like, all right, cool. K. Michelle has a day in Houston. We give her a key. We're like, how do we go about this? What do we do with this? This is like the most unofficial holiday ever. Like, what do we do with this?
Man, I didn't know too many people had keys to the city like that. Like I know it was like, of course, like, you know, Trey, of course, he's always been like frontline when it came to like the people that I noticed who always be frontline, be like Trey, Beyonce, of course. Doesn't Steve Francis still he still stay in Houston, don't he?
Yeah.
Steve, James, of course, James Harden, of course, Bun, of course. But anybody like really outside the city, I didn't know y'all was just giving keys to like that.
Hey man, whatever they choose to do at the city hall, whatever, you know, Sylvester Turner is in there doing, that's completely up to them. That's I don't know. That's their decision.
Y'all giving Sauce Walker a key to the city next?
Man, hey, listen, there's too much. Man, got too much gang affiliation. They won't let that happen. They won't let that happen. I'm telling you. That's one of the main reasons why we can't. He's one of the main reasons why we can't have Trey Day in Houston. If you Google that, if you Google Albert Mondane and Trey Day shooting, Sauce Walker is gonna be the one to pop up. Had a whole shooting and everything like that, and yeah, that's like one of the main reasons why they can't have Trey Day in Houston. I think somebody either somebody got injured, and they tried to talk about how Trey's music was too violent, and 97.9 doesn't even play Trey's music either. So he did a whole, I think, like
Goddamn.
early, like 2012, 2013, when he was first signing to Ti at Grand Hustle. I think that's when he did the "Can't Ban the Truth" tape. It was a mixtape that he put
Yeah, I
out.
remember that tape.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was around the same time that everybody was trying to get that lifted at 979, and 979 was not trying to have that. So I had a lot of animosity with the radio. I officially haven't listened to the radio since I was in high school. I always keep my aux cord and whatnot in the car just for that specific reason. And people are like, that's petty, but that man has done way too much for the city for us to treat him the way we treat him. So, or the way y'all treat him. But like I said, he gonna have when it's all said and done, we appreciate him for everything that he does, and hopefully not only does he get a holiday, but they also give him a key to the city. I'm hoping for it. But Sauce definitely not getting no key to the city.
I meant to ask you earlier, how do you feel about like his overall impact on Houston, and what would you put him at as far as
That
like?
man, that man has same way people talk about how like Wayne has birthed a generational artist or Gucci has birthed a generational artist. This man has literally started like promotion tools, like as a businessman and an artist. This man is amazing. He goes to he'll go through different states, and he's like, I'm in your state, and I'm like, I need some of the hardest artists. He'll promote them, if not do a song with them. If he likes them, if he likes what they got to offer, he signs them to TSF. Every nigga in TSF has that same face tag.
Yeah,
TSF right now is like, I think like 12 deep.
yeah, it's a lot of them.
Oh,
It's a lot of them.
yeah, J Rag, Rizzo, L Train, Sauce Walker, Peso,
Sancho.
some Puerto Rican nigga named Sauce Glizzy, some shit like that.
Yeah, you got Sancho Sauce.
Sauce Gohan. It's a whole lot of artists. But as far as like forefront, he's really doing it right now. I'm not even mad at him. I'm waiting for this next tape. These last 3 songs that he just put out, really like embody ghetto gospel. Not just like niggas hopping on the track and singing about pain, but really rapping about their
Yeah,
pain.
he really rapping on them ghetto gospel tracks.
So this next album, if it's not all ghetto gospel shit, I'm gonna be heated because that's what I'm looking for.
That's what's up. So transition to another topic. I know you talked about it last week. I actually meant to hit you back, man. That was my fault on that. About the last Snowfall episode with Leon and everything. Now we done transition to the new episode. And so like what we thinking so far with the whole Franklin, Manboy, and Scully situation. I like me personally, man, I've always made this known, like Manboy's been one of the like low-key best characters on it, but now this story development, like I feel like, man, he wasn't wrong in that situation, man, in terms of like basically telling Franklin, like you put out a tweet the other day basically telling him like how he like, subtly told him like basically like how he was a hoe for the whole situation,
Yeah.
how he handled that. So
Yeah, he hold them out.
but shout out to Snowfall though, man. Their writing has still been on point so far though.
It's good. It's still good. I'm gonna say this for one. Leon should have finished the job. There shouldn't have been a hesitation. You know what I'm saying? You out here selling dope to the community and shit like that. You shooting up cars. No, fuck that. Why would you shoot up another car if you know you got kids in the back?
That was dumb on their part.
Yeah, that was dumb on
That
their
was-
part. That was dumb on their part.
So that was already one.
You got your boss's girl and his child in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Niggas was stupid for that. 2, if you gonna shoot up the whole car and you know what I'm saying, you have to finish the job. That nigga was traumatized at the fact that I understand, like, knowing street niggas, the rule has always been no children and no kids. Nowadays, the narrative is completely changed for whatever odd reason. Young niggas is just doing what the fuck they please. But in that aspect, I would have been like, yo, like, finish the job. Nobody's gonna go back and speak. You stood there and you let Shorty see your face and everything. She's, in distress. Her baby is dead. She seen your face. She seen your partner face. Now, and then also to know they caught you on the fact that your fingerprints were on the shelves. You just moving very sloppy. You're not moving. You're not moving how Saint needed you to move because you got animosity towards Saint for whatever happened with Kevin and shit like that.
Yeah, I felt like that shit was cheesy, but
So
I feel like the whole Franklin setting up the whole Scully man boy shit. I feel like that was like my only flaw on the show.
Franklin too smart.
Franklin way too smart to even set some dumb shit like that up.
Yeah, I don't know if it was done out of a sense of panic or he was just urgent to keep his business flowing fluently and shit like that. But I don't think Franklin, the way we known him for the first 3 seasons, would have set up some shit like that.
It was out of desperation. If he really wanted to do, I'm gonna put it like this: it would have been bad writing if they had just executed everybody the way they did. Like he could have called Reed, and Reed could have had some shit set up, and everybody as soon as they got into the warehouse, they'd be like, "Y'all could either speak or y'all could shoot it out." And he'd be like, "But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and leave." And then the whole warehouse could have blown. It would have been bad writing if they were like, "All right, we're gonna blow up the warehouse."
Yeah, for sure.
Or you could have had Reed set up a team with shooters up top. Niggas could have been up top and just sprayed down on everybody.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I get it for the show that I get it for the show everybody can't go that early in the season, but just in terms of how it boiled down in terms of Scully and Manboy having and now look at it now they done came together off a tragedy. So now he got both of them on his ass now. So just in terms of the whole I don't give up my people. It's bruh, Manboy done pushed so much shit to the wayside because of Leon's fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? And now his niece is dead, and you on some shit I don't give up my people. But you wanted this man.
I understand the aspect of the loyalty there.
I get it.
At that point, I would have had to kill him.
That's the only way. That's the way I would have looked at it. And in my opinion, he should have listened to Louis. You know what I'm saying? It's she was just like Franklin. I get it. That's your boy, but this is fucking a business and this and if you wanted to go out like that, just like his dad killed his brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because he said the Panthers wanted to torture him, and I didn't want that to happen. This man had to kill his own brother. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of with the friend, I felt Manboy, and it's bruh, this man done let too much shit slide. And even then, remember, they wanted him to get rid of Wanda. But that was personal. And he still did it. He was like, if you want our product, they was like, if you want our product, you got to get rid of Wanda. And he did that.
Right.
So for you to not even, and that was less. You know what I'm saying? So for something this major, you didn't want to get, it's all right, man, what type of shit Franklin on, man? You picking and choosing when to play this card. So I understand. Somebody also made a tweet yesterday, was they should kind of do what they did with Avon, Marlowe, and Stringer, kind of transition Manboy as to the main character. And I wouldn't be against that because I feel his character development has been so good. And I'm glad they didn't fumble his character development. A lot of shows, they fumble certain characters' development as far as the show. But I wouldn't be against nothing like that.
So, but how far would you tell a story, though? Because you just got this season and maybe another season.
For Manboy?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of be on the same terms of Marlowe. Either he gonna
Marlowe came what, season 3, season 2,
season 3.
Well, that makes sense then. That makes sense.
Yeah, season 3. So,
and we're what? This is the 4th season.
4th, yeah.
You think he should? I'm pretty sure they're already starting to write next season up already.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm more than confident it's already in the works right now.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be a 5-6 season type show for sure.
I feel like somebody I feel like somebody close to Saint gonna get popped, and that's what's gonna really forefront the. Nah, fuck that. I feel like Mel is gonna make a comeback out of somewhere.
I feel like that too.
She has to.
It has to. I feel like something might be eating at her conscience, and she might actually go talk to that reporter. The reporter going, you know what I'm saying? Shorty been asking a lot of. I understand that's your job as a reporter, but it's You really pissing me off right now.
She been trying to get info on his damn pops. Like, you know that shit ain't going down.
She already went to her to the news people with the whole spread out, like trying to get shit.
Yeah, with Reed and all that shit.
You gotta have the board set up and show them everything that you got. That way, they stand solid on and be like, all right, well, if you're gonna do it all the way. I feel like Teddy. I feel like sometime in the season, Teddy gonna end up running into her. Either her running into Teddy or Teddy running into her.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then Teddy's like, nah, this gotta be like how bro in the first season like found the earring and everything. He's like, bro, if you killed it, just tell the truth. Or whatever the situation was, and like, I guess I gotta kill you too, just to keep you quiet. And all of a sudden, now we got more bodies missing.
More bodies.
We looking for the DEA agent. You don't know. We were like presumed dead. Fuck it. All of a sudden, the reporters start digging up shit. Somebody comes to drop off some information. The other DEA agent comes to drop off information. Like, listen, if you're gonna do it all the way. I'm hoping Teddy gets her out of here somehow. I'm hoping that office gets burned down or some shit like that. I'm hoping for it.
That's another character that gotta stay alive too. Now, Reed's character has had a crazy jump to this season, bro. Them boy did a great... Like, he ain't with the fuck shit this season. And I appreciate that because, like...
He realizes a lot at stake right now.
Yeah. Like, he really ain't with the bullshit. You can see, like, he really got to tap into, like, okay, like, I really just got to start knocking motherfuckers' heads off because I ain't really with the shit. At the same time, too, I appreciate how he's handling Oso because I feel like had this been season 1 or 2, he kind of would have been, like, on the... I think he kind of would have tried to separate himself from him, but he know he need him because he ain't got nobody else. His ex-wife turned on him. Like his brother, he can't fuck with his brother no more. So, and on top of that, Oso is muscle at the same time too. So, I feel like them two make a real good team. Like I would like to see them survive this season, but we'll definitely if any like for sure, Man Boy and Rita the two characters that I feel like gotta stand tall through all this shit. Anybody else, I don't want to see no spinoff with Leon. I don't want to see because
Leon don't need nothing else.
Yeah, Leon don't need nothing else, man. Because it's like realistically, if you want to be real, he should not be alive, honestly. But I get it for the show and the relationship with him and Franklin. Like I understand it.
He's not gonna survive much longer though. I feel he's gonna die this season.
I saw the preview for the next show and this nigga going off on Franklin. And I'm like, bro, I know better, bro. Like, ain't no way this nigga got the nerve to want to go off on Franklin with all your bullshit. Like, he don't listen. He hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, he let a lot of that shit stem from Wanda, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand it's your girl.
Being emotional. You can't be emotional you can't be emotional in the dope game. That's really what got that's what got Kevin killed, too.
Yep.
Trying to go down there and be like, bro, like he's with his child right now. We could set up where to get him and all that. He's like, nah, fuck that. I want to do it right here, right now. And we're like,
that was stupid. Saint
wasn't letting it happen.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like Saint was telling him.
Saint could have tackled him. There was a million ways that shit could have went, but they were like, nah, bro, gotta go. They're like, so got shot in his leg and he bled out through his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Like, never heard some shit like that, but okay, fuck it, we gonna let it ride. But the part that I'm gonna put it like this: it's season 4. This animosity that Leon has towards Saint, where was that all the rest of season 3?
That's what I was saying. That was my biggest question, bro, with the whole Kevin shit. That's why I felt like that part of the writing was cheesy because it's like this motherfucker ain't complained not one time about Kevin all through season 3.
You see him in the bar now.
You see Oso and Reed in the bar now. Now it's a fucking problem. Like
that's the second flaw for me with the show.
Yeah.
There was no
for their beef to stem like that. I'd rather they beef has stemmed from the fact like nigga, I was the one out here putting in work while you was in rehab and you was getting your shit together. Like,
but they was going with that, but then it went some other way.
Yeah, it went some other way. The biggest thing is the whole Kevin shit.
When Franklin first came home, he was like, Leon was like, the project's going too good. I can't be your personal driver no more. Some shit like that. Like, so I don't know, man.
It's a lot. I would have if that. The part that also put me up, there was no cut scenes to where it's like, all right, Leon was going to check on Kevin's family. There's no, no cutscenes where he's standing at his grave, like with a 40 or some shit like that, and just like sitting there trying
That's
to talk
a great
to him.
fucking point. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. That's why I can't really buy that shit. Exactly.
It's a flaw. It's a
flaw.
writer's flaw.
It's a writer's flaw within that. Like if they would have had some cutscenes of him doing that, like that shit kind of fucking with him. Like I can understand it. I can understand it a lot more. But I mean, shout out for this show even to be on FX, and not to say FX hasn't had great shows before, but they really maintain the standard and they actually up the bar each season with this show. They haven't fumbled it, so that's a good job. Like. For them to do that, because I know if it was like on HBO, they would have knocked it out the water. You see what I'm saying? So for them to maintain a reputation as far as like having a great show and maintaining it, they done a great job so far. But I'm definitely locked into this season more than any other season, dog. And we done hit the midway point now. Like so, we done hit episode 5. We about to hit 6. So this is when shit starts to really like transition and shit.
What do you think about You know what we didn't bring up? Bro who got told to walk the beat. He's like, you're not on the case no more.
Oh,
the cop?
The cop. Well, he got sent to another division.
He got sent out.
He might pop up again.
I feel that's why I'm like, all right, you saw how Andre was like, no, we're not gonna set on this until I get everything. And he sent him into Saint's house in the hills or whatever. Got all that information. And Saint was like, nah, fuck that, bro. You gotta die tonight.
Yeah.
Ended, bro, took all the paperwork, wiped prints off the gun, put it in his hand, did everything. And you're like, all right, well, shit, you killed my partner.
He didn't give a fuck about Andre, bro.
You're like, yeah, dog, I understand that. I already knew that. You're like, all right, you're not paying me no more, and now you got me fucked off in my job. And we're like, yeah, we got to come see you now.
He fucked that up.
That's why I'm hoping, like, I'm feeling like it's gonna pop up at the coming to the last like 2 episodes of the season. He gonna just mysteriously pop up.
It might be like a cliffhanger type going into the next season.
Yeah, and like, all right. I feel like that's how either him and Mel. I don't know. My mind is working like a million different ways. That's how I want this shit to go. How I want, what I want to see in this, that, and the other. And like, I already know I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't go that way. But nonetheless, the show is still good. I like it for what it is. And hopefully, if we get a season 5, I'm hoping there's a season 5. I want to see the actual expansion. I want to see them take those trips, get on these flights. If they even show like a flight montage or show them like, what if this nigga Saint goes to what if this nigga Saint pops up in New York? Mm-hmm. And then Saint
trying to expand and shit.
Saint meets who Supreme was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know what I'm saying? Like there was a whole series of kingpins in the 80s as far as like New York was concerned. So it's like if we could merge these stories and it kind of dragged off into like, all right, we're still moving throughout the states in order to expand this product and make this one of the most, make this an opportunity. I feel like that. I think that would be cool, but there's a lot of holes in that. Like, what if Saint gets caught as soon as you come out the air? Like, you hop off the plane, you already getting arrested. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel like that's where Reed comes into place because for him to keep that file. With pictures with all that with shit him and Reed, like it's gonna come a point in time where they even have like I even saw a preview for the next episode where Reed was telling him like, damn, I never would have thought it would have got to a point where you let the emotions like take over what you really needed to get done, like business wise. Like I feel like they're gonna butt heads more coming up in these next couple episodes because it's like I understand where Reed coming from. Like, look like he did his ex-wife. It's like, bro, like I can't fuck with you. Like that man let a drug operation really like look at his wife like he could have easily been like, you know what, you right, I'm gonna step away from the ship. It was like, nah, dog, like this business at the end of the day, this is what I'm doing with my current life, and you fucked that shit up because you didn't like what I was doing. No, I can't fuck with you no more. It was nothing. He's like, nah, you gotta go. So what I appreciate about Reed is like he knows how to balance out the emotions and the business aspect of it. Like he keeps the business first. So anything that gets in the way of that, and he moves smart too. Like when he told, like
Niggas
even when he kidnapped Oso, you see what I'm saying? He told him like, hey, like I had to do this because you was about to go do some dumb shit. If we gonna do this shit, we gonna do it the right way.
the right way.
Yeah.
Niggas went in there surgical. Niggas went in there. So when I saw it, I think I was hella hyped just to know, not to realize that was gonna be like the last 5 minutes of the show. No, not even 5 minutes.
Hell
like
yeah.
The last 2 to 3 minutes.
That was one of the best scenes.
Niggas was in the crib, real surgical. Stop playing with that man. That nigga got poked around the corner. Was like, yeah, that shit hurt, but I'm gonna keep shooting.
Yeah.
Out in the crib, and then fuck around and then they started panning to like niggas running out the front of the crib.
Yep.
Nigga also in the back seat. Boom. Nigga said, nah, fuck this bullshit. You gonna look me in my eyes, I'm gonna choke you to death.
Yeah, but choke you to death. Yeah.
Come on, dog. Great scene. It was short, but it was a great scene. Just how it moved. Everything, the movement of the scene. You didn't have to have no crazy camera angles. It was just like, all right, we gonna hit this bop step and boogie. Boom. Shoot. Get in the house. We shooting shit in the house. People trying to run out the front. Also clean up in the front.
Ended. That shit was fire.
The yell was him yelling was unnecessary, but that was stemmed from just like anger. So I can understand.
Yeah, the
like,
frustration.
You got adrenaline going. You just killed a nigga with your own hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
The main one that killed you. Yeah.
You killed him.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, they definitely doing a great job. So I'm definitely looking forward to. I be locked in every time 10 o'clock. So you transition to another topic, man. You know, this is a topic I definitely wanted to talk about on this week's show because I seen it's been taking a lot of it's been raising a lot of conversations like on social media. You know, we had the white guy who killed 8 Asians and it was in Atlanta, Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. You know, RIP to them and you know, condolences to them.
That was in Atlanta?
I think it was.
Damn.
Condolences to them and their family, you know, in these like massage parlors and stuff like that. And you know that's crazy because you know I go get my feet done sometimes, you know, to an actual spot that's ran by Asians, you know. So I even thinking about that like, damn, what if I was in that situation? But in terms of like the overall aftermath of it, you know, stop the Asian hate and stuff like that. What I don't like is it seems like every time like another minority group gets attacked by white people, we have to be the superheroes in terms of like, you know, having to come to their aid to help them fight that. And it's like, nah, like this is a white supremacy problem. Like this is a white terrorist problem. Like CBS NBC gonna run an article saying how black people can be allies with Asians against. Like, nah, dog, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
How
like
can we
this,
be allies?
we the ones getting bodied by them too. Like what the?
Because they don't want to have to address. They don't want to have to address the fact. It's about honestly, it's about accountability at the end of the day.
Facts.
It's always been about accountability at the end of the day.
And that's why I asked him, I'm like, where's the article to the white people who's doing these killings? I don't never see y'all put the mirror to them, tell them, hey, y'all need to fix this shit. It's always, we gotta be, like I said, man, like, others love themselves, black people love everybody. And that'll always be our fucking demise, like, that's part of it. Like, why we the most oppressed, but we gotta be the most forgiving. And I never understood that shit.
I mean, we don't have to.
No, we don't have to.
We really don't, but we are because I think in the standpoint of like you endure so much pain, you know how to. When you endure a certain amount of pain, you know how to reciprocate that, but you also know how to output love. So I can understand us being, you know what I'm saying. We could be supportive, and we could be loving and this, that, and the other. And they've noticed that. They've already picked up on that narrative. You feel me? So that's the reason why it's always, all right, what can black people do to, you know, help? What can black people do to help Asian people? Like,
and that's why I feel like
what can we do as a whole? Fuck the bullshit. What can we do as a whole to make sure this shit doesn't happen again?
And I feel like that's a negative thing. I feel like they use that. They know because we are 11 people. We ain't never been no hateful type people. True indeed. But at the same time, too, you can't use that as leverage every time some shit happen. You know what I'm saying?
Also, the whole like ally, the ally lane to me is like,
oh, it's so weak.
It's weak because it's like, all right, yeah, in a perfect world, we should have allies, but in reality, it's no allies. Like, yeah, Mike can go get his feet done, or he can go get his a pedicure or whatever. But I've seen hundreds of videos of agents beating up on black women in these nail shops too. You know what I'm saying? I've seen hundreds of videos of us being targeted in these
in neighborhoods, certain neighborhoods,
these neighborhood corner stores and the hair supply stores. Like I've seen us, get followed around. So it's like there's no ally to us though. So why do we always have to be an ally? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
you see it more on the internet than in real life. Everybody has this very strong social and political voice on the internet, but the moment you get them in public, it's very quiet for them.
Mm-hmm.
There have been there have been black people to die behind their political voice. I don't really see too many Asians dying behind their political voice as far as like speaking up on their situation or black lives. And it's as I said, it's mainly done on the internet. And I think that's because I guess that's like a safer outlet, even though the internet is a fucking terrible place. I feel like that's a safer outlet because people could just hit the comments and type at you versus you being out in public and speaking publicly to the people. And at some point you gotta worry, if you're concerned about your life and you happen to walk away from this event, what's saying that somebody don't pop you before you get back to your car?
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say somebody doesn't arrest you and you end up in a cell with no phone call and just forgotten about it, or not forgotten about, but like people are searching for you. Who's to say? These things, type of things happen any other day. There was a young boy. The boy was like, dude wasn't that much younger than I was. I think he was like 20, 21. And I follow and actually speak to one of his homegirls, and he was murdered. And he was murdered, and like the body went missing, and all these things. And we're still trying to search for this young man. And every time we would try and spread this awareness, it was like, that's not my issue. That's not my issue. And like, they don't care about these. They don't really care about these young black women and men until somebody like puts it on a forefront. What does putting a black person's picture on the cover of a magazine do for helping them?
Mm-hmm.
George Floyd?
I'm not sure. They put Miss Brianna on the cover of a magazine. I'm like, all right, I understand the idea of raising awareness, but it seems like we're always raising awareness. There still hasn't been anything done to these police officers. So it's like,
it's a lot of this shit. A lot of that shit is performative, and it goes back to like at the end of the day, like surface level victories. Like me and Mo, we talked about this on the show before. The surface level shit. I don't care about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor being plastered over these publications. We passed that. We've done that before. You know what I'm saying? What are you actually doing? Like within integrating your businesses, making sure you have more black people in certain levels of positions. Like, when the NBA and the NFL, they come out, they make these statements, but yet and still you might not have the Washington football team just had the first black NFL president of a team. You know what I'm saying? Right. So in terms of, it's the commercials. I'm done with the commercials. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about the commercials no more. Like, we passed that. It's just like, they just feed us the surface level shit and they go back to doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say don't play. You got to pick a side because this shit is real life at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You can't straddle the fence with shit like this. It's like either you in it or you not. Because at the end of the day, when Chris gets killed by a white cop next week, what you gonna do? Continue to do the same revolving cycle? You know what I'm saying? Like this is a continuous thing.
Because it falls in lines of like instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. We can talk and be like, well, we want justice, and be like, well, we're gonna plaster their faces everywhere, and we're gonna talk about police reform and all these things. We're gonna talk about it. There's no real action behind it.
This is why I'm with Mike Brown's father, and I'm with Tamir Rice's mother, because they speaking out against.
I was gonna ask about that.
The Black Lives Matter. They raised over $90 million, and Mike Brown's father's like, well, where is this money going towards? Because we the ones that really have to deal with this pain and trauma every day, and it's like y'all get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he demanded $20 million from him, because it's like where are you even allocating y'all funds at, that these donations, like, and whatever. And then Samira writes, that's Tamir's mother. He's like, well, I don't appreciate how it's the same group of people that show up every time a black person's killed, and there's no progress being made. Like, my son was murdered, Tamika Mallory, and my son, the rapper, comes up, and you know, it's like a tour. They just go to the next person. As soon as somebody else dies, like, they there on the front lines and quotations. So it's like, you know, what are y'all really doing at the end of the day? Are y'all just pacifiers, or y'all really trying to make shit happen? You know what I'm saying?
I just read the same. I read something similar to that about Sean King on Twitter. I think it was yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, why we keep giving people we keep giving these people outlets to try and speak and be a part of something that they really. All right, so I'm gonna put it like this: we ask for help. We just get unnecessary help if we don't ask for help, and it's like we continue to try and bring. You know, we kind of try and we have this aggression towards people in the sense of y'all are not angry enough for us. And I can understand that, because it shouldn't be just us out there on the front line trying to figure out, all right, what can we do? But as you said before, they don't really care for, black people. It's never been like, yeah, what's the best way I can say this? I'm gonna just say what Paul Mooney said. Everybody want to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or everybody loves black influence. But nobody really loves black people.
Yeah. I mean, we see it, like, it's the most impactful culture in the world, bro. Like, everybody wants it, and that's another conversation even with the Asian, because I seen, like, to stop the Asian hate, and somebody crossed it out and it said, no, stop, like, terrorism and shit like that. That should be the conversation. That's why I say, when I see NBC run an article talking about no, fuck all that. Where's the article to the white people? Most likely a white person ran that article to y'all. Put the mirror up to y'all and say, what the fuck it's never that. They always seem to find a way to Euro step the foundation of the issue.
But the moment that comes out, that's a big social issue to them. All of a sudden, they're the targeted race,
mm-hmm.
or they want to make themselves out to be the minority at that point, because they're being targeted for not taking accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, well, and you're like, I'm a white person. I didn't kill Yasser Sir. Like, that's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the point. You're completely blowing by the fact that you're like, a group of Asian people were killed by Caucasian men.
Yeah, he still get the benefit of the doubt.
That's
like,
it. And we're like, yeah, listen,
he was getting called a kid. Like, they was calling him a kid on certain articles.
They talking about what he did on Friday nights with his family and shit. Like, who don't care about no shit like that?
Even the sheriff that pulled up was like, well, he just had a bad day, and this is what resulted in him having a bad day. And it's like, well, a nigga don't get that benefit of the doubt of having a bad day and killing 8 people, and it's just he had a bad day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, like you say, like, the mirror, a big old mirror need to be put up in front of these people so they can, know what the fuck what it really is. And they know it, but it's just like they control these outlets, so they can push whatever narrative they want to push. Mm-hmm. So,
I don't know. It's a very poor narrative. I feel like we still got to continue pushing. We got to continue to fight for. It's one thing to focus. It's one thing to focus on everybody else. We really need to focus on what we need to do as far as what we're doing in our communities. You know what I'm saying? We need to focus on what we got going on in our communities before we can start focusing on how we can help other people. Once we figure out what we need to do for ourselves and what we need to do for our communities, then maybe, just maybe, we can start helping other people. Like, my partner just talked to me the other day about same situation. He's like, you see how how fast America can be distracted? I'm like, what you mean? He's like, we still got kids in cages, my G. He's like, police officers are still out here killing people. He's like, you know, shootings are still active thing. And the motherfuckers still gotta wear masks in public for COVID. He's like, I can't. He's like, I can't even tell you the last person that passed away from COVID. I'm like, but he's like, yeah, everything is happening so fast.
Shit, yeah, they just had a
He's like, do we ever get a moment to really analyze one situation, like one trauma before before we're bombarded with the next trauma? And like, how do we move forward? How do we tackle and grasp each? How do we grasp and tackle each of these social issues? And like I'm like the immigration one, ICE and whatnot. I don't know how we're gonna do that. That's something that we really gotta take. They gotta. That's something that we really gotta sit down with like a whole city, like a city worth of people, to get under control. And there are a lot of people that are not going to agree with what we got to say, but nonetheless, we need to say what needs to be said. And I don't know. There's a lot of shit. Like there's still white people mad about Trump not being president right now, and they're doing petty shit in their businesses or whatever. Like it's a lot of it's a lot of bullshit going on.
I feel like it's always gonna be some. There's always gonna be something, but like you said, is ever gonna be a time where they take it and just like focus on one other thing? It's just like it really wouldn't matter if they did because it's gonna be something following up right after that bullshit. Like Miami just had a state of emergency because all these dumbasses was packed up shoulder to shoulder on the beach, and it's like, dog, like we still are in a pandemic. Like I get it, like you can still do your thing, traveling wise and being safe, but like this shit is real out here, and I don't think people really understand like how serious it should. Even like, they say even if you get the vaccine, it's like, oh, I still gotta wear it. I mean, like, yeah, nigga, it's like I remember I was on Buttons Live yesterday. And he was having a conversation with like his brothers, right? So he asked him, he was just like, so you do know like why would you wear? Because his brother's one of his brothers under this belief, like if whatever happens, happens. But it's like if you could be asymptomatic, right? Why would you go to some like your mother's house, knowing that she might be at high risk of getting COVID and not wear a mask? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this shit. Why would you do that? You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people are. I think people are fed up now in terms of like, you know what? I done been locked down.
Right.
I've been in the house. I haven't been able to do it. But it's like, bruh, like that's only been a year though. You probably been alive. I'm just throwing it 35, 33, 28, 27 years. You didn't have to deal with that because you had to sacrifice a year. It's like, oh, you fed up with this shit now. But this shit is still going on. You see what I'm saying? Like my grandfather and my grandparents, they both decided to take the vaccine. You see what I'm saying? So they both doing well and stuff. But it's like, my grandfather, he's still gonna wear his mask. You see what I'm saying? Like my grandma's still gonna wear her mask and stuff like that. Like that's why I haven't been over there as much because I don't want to possibly. Fortunately, I haven't been. Haven't caught it. You see what I'm saying? I'm fortunate not being able to call it, but that doesn't mean I want to put them in a situation where I could possibly pass that shit on to them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or how do we know? And that's usually probably their own research that they may have done on the vaccine. I have my own personal, like, the vaccine, does it protect against these new strands that they got running around out here? Shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that people really got to take into consideration when in terms of, like, how they moving around here and shit like that. I know Texas. I know down there y'all lifted the ban, the mask.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, let me. Hey. First of all, I'm gonna take the moment. I'm gonna take the moment on this on y'all's outlet if y'all will let me say this. As a fellow Houstonian, I say this wholeheartedly. Fuck Greg Abbott. Fuck his wheelchair. Fuck that nigga not working legs. All that shit. This man out here playing Pete. I said that with a whole heart. This man is really out here. He was like, all right, so we went from being confined to saying, hey, you know what? Fuck you. Y'all keep asking for Texas to open back up. Y'all want to go to the clubs and be stupid and shit like that? Well, people are literally that fucking stupid. Say, you know what? Everything else is open. Everything is back open now. Nah, this feel like a setup. Fuck that. All of a sudden, everybody want to wear their mask all of a sudden. It's like it's no different than being a child. Like you tell a child not to do something, what they gonna do?
Do the opposite.
Exactly. So he was like, "Nah, fuck that. Everything's open. Nah, this doesn't feel right. Let's go ahead. We're gonna continue to mask up. We're gonna continue to go places with our mask on." But it was like, I think my partner said it best when he was like, "Y'all really out here listening?" So niggas talking about you want to listen to a nigga who can't even stand for his own state.
Oh man.
We was being we was real we was letting that man have it. We was gonna the homies burner Twitter was on fire that night. This nigga made a whole playlist talking about fuck Greg Abbott with like he put 1-2 step in there, Cupid shuffle. Like, we was real life disrespectful. And it's crazy because the playlist was like 3 hours long. It was like 3 hours long, and the playlist actually was crazy. How it, like he's like, just throw it on shuffle. He's like, tell me what you like on there. I'm like, I didn't hear too many songs that I did not like. He had Adele's Rolling in the Deep. We was just like, it started off funny, and then it just ended up being a good playlist. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. But yeah, I don't know. That man is wicked. I don't know. I don't see why.
Well, we seen a few of y'all people in charge for showing their ass lately down there in Texas. Terry Crews was another one showing his ass when they had that whole shit go down too. So
fuck that bent nose motherfucker too. This nigga ran off to what, Mexico?
Yeah, because his daughter wanted a vacation.
Y'all guilt tripped him. He had a guilt trip and came back though.
when the ice dropped, I was outside.
He should have got punched out in the airport.
Man, going to Mexico. We supposed to be on a relief mission.
Yeah.
People got in car accidents on the highway in Dallas. People died in Dallas. People got in car accidents here on the highway trying to drive home and shit like that. And you didn't tell me you off in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Stop putting these political figures in position when they don't give a fuck about us. But it's always gonna be that because both parties forget it's never for the people.
Mm-hmm.
I told somebody this too. I said I have no real political ties. I keep up with politics, but I have no real political ties. I'm 25 years old and I've never voted. And he's like, "Are you registered?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "For one, regardless of who wins, we're not going to see the change that we need to see. We're not going to see the change until we have somebody who's actually for the people." And we really could have had, AOC, or we could have had Bernie, even though there was certain things that I didn't necessarily agree with as far as Bernie was concerned. Like free education for everybody. That might not be something for everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then to know that as a Marine Corps veteran, I gave valiant service in order to get free education. I was like, what the fuck am I here for if everybody can have free education?
Mm-hmm.
And the moment I made that known, it was like I was so selfish to say that out loud. But it's like, no, these are the sudden truths that come with that. So it's like you can be frustrated about it, but you're really not what I'm saying.
I'm good.
You feel me? So there's a lot that goes into it. It would have been cool, Bernie on his last legs. So to have this man in office, it was like one cough, bro, you getting sent to the afterlife. You cough just the wrong way. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then COVID is outside too, so it's like, nigga, we would have to protect the like you gotta protect the president as it is. Like this nigga gotta be in a bubble, literally in a bubble. You gotta travel in a bubble if that's the case. You get on Air Force One, we gotta saran wrap the whole plane down. You know what I'm saying? Lysol cans everywhere.
Hell yeah.
You only drinking bottled water, no glasses of water and shit like that.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation may be. But as far as having like no real political ties, I've paid attention. We haven't seen. There's no real change. The people make the changes. As the people, we make these changes happen. There's no political figure that's ever done anything on behalf of us that I could say, all right, well, this was so much more significant. Niggas in New Orleans is still recovering from Katrina.
Yeah, that's wild. And that was 16 years ago.
Like that's wild to me. That's very ill. So I don't know. We we gotta be the change. We gotta be the voice. We gotta be the heart of not only our cities. We gotta be the heart of our states. We gotta be the heart of this country. We gotta make things happen. We gotta be very forward, active. You know, law enforcement can try and stop us, whatever. But we're gonna keep talking. We're gonna try and continue to keep this narrative open as far as like social justice and hopefully at some point we actually start to properly organize that way we can get everything that we want and need to ensure that we're not our families are safe, and we can make sure that everybody that comes forward in the future. Shit, I want to hope that somewhere in the near future, probably in my early 30s, that I can have my firstborn child and not have to worry about raising this child in such I already know that we live in such a fucked up place.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I feel like that's something. Yeah, I feel like something like in terms of like our generations, like we probably wouldn't see. It would be good to see, but it'll have to come down to the generations after ours, because it's like it's still some of that, a lot of that racism shit running through. That's some shit that's passed down. So hopefully, man, we'll be able to see some change, like you said, within some time. But realistically, especially the way the world is, because I think the whole world done changed now, especially with this corona shit. It ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's why there's a vaccine for it. It ain't really, all it's doing is just make you immune to the shit. So this is something that's like set in stone now. Like the shit done changed. So, I want to get y'all opinion. Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
We really had the opportunity to stop all this. Trump really had the opportunity to stop all this when they first started seeing it in late December, before we actually started coming into 2020, and then 2020 being by far one of the worst fucking years ever, just because we were restrained to so many things due to the fact that the strain was spreading so fast. People had to. People were buying Lysol in cases. Alcohol companies started making fucking hand sanitizer. I'm still using hand sanitizer that smell like tequila. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't motherfucking hand sanitizer out here smell like tequila and shit like that. But I'd rather be safe than sorry.
I feel you on that. I mean, I think within the next.
Good?
I think within like the next couple like months, we'll really get to see if they're gonna take this shit serious, like in terms of like trying to quote unquote drive this curve down. But because they was trying to make some wild predictions. I never believed like, the world can open back up around the summertime. Y'all said that shit last year, man. Mm-hmm. So it turns to that, man. That shit ain't gonna happen, man.
It's supposed to keep us in fear. Big Pharma about to listen. Pharmacy's getting what? My ex shorty used to work. My ex shorty works she works at a clinic, and she told me when we had the like ice fall and shit like that, they were like the vaccines in the clinic got damaged, and it's like $1,000 per vaccine. And luckily, they had such an amazing insurance policy to where they can get the vaccines replaced and everything like that. Mm. I'm like, there's so much money in medicine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We too much money on the tables.
Yeah.
So, and I keep trying to tell people, we're starting to, a lot of people. I'm starting to see more people eat sea moss, and they take they turmeric and ginger shots, and all these other necessary things. And it's like. I started recommending people to go watch like Dr. Sebi videos and listen to Dr. Sebi and all these different things. I'm like, y'all are still out here listening to what was that? What was that one? Somebody was talking about some white doctor talking about if you wear black clothes, you're. I don't even remember dude's name. They said his name on Twitter. I looked at it. I was like, that don't concern me because I eat. You know what I'm saying? I eat my sea moss. I take my ginger and whatnot. I legitimately haven't been sick. Legitimately sick. Since I think 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So
it was around the same time. Yeah, it was around the same time frame for me too. I had like a real bad cough like early 2018. After that shit used to keep me up at night. But like outside of that, nah. But you're right, like in terms of like having money tied up in medicine, like all this shit, like I said, this shit is a revolving cycle, man. Like, like you said, it's to keep us in fear. At the same time too, you still gotta move smart. So Yeah, we'll be definitely interesting to see. I want to get y'all opinion on the whole Deshaun Watson situation. What y'all think about that and how that's unfolded? Like when I first heard the accusation from the one woman, like off the rip, I was like, nah, I don't believe that shit, man. Like, the timing of it was off, and
Wait,
just wanting to come at the money, and then the conflict of interest with the guy who's representing him being neighbors with the team owner, and it's like 22 women that came out about this man. He's been mass deleting tweets. It's like it's looking real nasty for Deshaun Watson, man. So I know you being
so
you are you a Texans fan?
no, they got a racist on the team. I stopped being a fan. No, scratch that. I've never been a Texans fan ever.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never been a Texans fan. I got a family of like, I'm gonna put it like this. I got a family that's half Texans. I got half Dallas Cowboys, and then me and my grandfather on my mother's side are Eagles fans.
Okay.
So it's like whenever we come in the house, there's already a lot of animosity. But and then also an Oilers fan. I wasn't around, I'm not old enough to really know too much about the Oilers, but watching tapes with my grandfather really put me up on game. But yeah, I don't know, this whole allegations thing. This is my first time hearing about this shit. I thought she was gonna bring up the whole PJ leaving Rockets thing, but knowing that this man, you said this man got allegations, you like 20 plus women.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't really have no comment on that. That's not really my fight. Uh, if he's out here mass deleting tweets, he definitely got something to hide. Then, you know, I mean, people gonna dig through the internet and find, the internet is forever. So those old tweets that he was deleting, all those tweets that he was deleting, they still gonna end up finding those. So whatever, I just hope his attorney is good. Niggas get to court, start backtracking.
Yeah, because he came out and denied the allegations the first time it came out, but then like it was just more women have been coming forward about him like being sexual harassment like during at massage parlors and shit like that and all this bunch of things. I think one of the guy who's representing the women, he posted a text message thread in one DM, and then in one of the text messages he was apologizing for making the woman feel uncomfortable and shit like that. So it's a real eye opener, and it's just like I don't know, man. Like especially like with this whole thing, it's a lot to unpack, man. Especially like with him trying to get traded out of Houston this whole time, and it's just like, on outside looking in, yeah, we could say he's been a stand-up citizen ever since he's been in Houston. Like never been no problems, but now it's just like more and more stuff come out. I just have to wait and see how this shit unfolds. To be honest.
So the allegations start. Ooh, excuse me. So the allegations start coming as he's preparing to leave.
Yeah, as they about to get close to him, like getting out of Houston, and then all of a sudden this happens. So it's like,
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, it sounds sketchy. It sounds very skeptical.
And then the lawyer that's representing all of these women, he's like, what is the neighbors with the owner?
Friends as well.
He's friends, like they're friends with the owner. So it's like, all right, even if it was some situations going on to where Deshaun might have been, maybe aggressive with some females, was there like a overall plot to protect Deshaun this whole time? And now that Deshaun's leaving, now it's coming, ahead.
Yeah,
like,
it could be nasty.
It's a bigger picture.
It's a bigger picture.
Is that's how I'm looking at it. Like obviously there's a bigger picture here. So it's like, was they always in cahoots to protect Deshaun, and now that he's trying to leave, they don't like how he's trying to leave. So now, they want to put his business out, or
Oh, that's always gonna be the case. That's the bad ex-girlfriend case. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool. Everything was cool and copacetic. We was doing our thing. The moment you say, you know what, this isn't working out, they bad mouth you to their friends, their family, and all that shit, and they just make you out to be this huge piece of shit. So I'm not gonna say it's expected, but I'm not surprised that what I'm saying. But this is I don't think I've ever really seen it in an aspect of like, all right, well, I got these women coming forward with sexual assault allegations and whatnot. I'm not saying that these allegations aren't true. But at the same time, timing and situation, circumstances being placed in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
it's very
weird. It's weird.
It's
It's
weird.
weird.
And I didn't even think about that angle that Mo brought up in terms of like, if this been going on, had the Texans been protecting him this whole time, but now because he wants to be out, you want to expose his shit. It really is a bigger picture because we never even heard of no shit like this with Deshaun. His whole tenure there. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I'm gonna also put it like this. Y'all see that Y'all see how they didn't blackball JJ when he said I was ready to go.
Yeah, they got him out of there though.
Mm-hmm.
They did sully his name a little bit though. They did.
So we not. I'm not gonna say we're gonna make this a race. I'm not gonna say we're gonna make this a racial thing, but when you got an elite athlete such as Deshaun, like I don't know who else you gonna put in. Who else would they put in position to be quarterback for the Texans?
I mean, that's why they just had signed Tyrod Taylor. They signed it to like a 1-year deal for $13 million.
So I don't know.
But I thought that was before the allegations had started to come out. I guess they was preparing to like move on from because even the president said that it was time for them to move on from Deshaun, and shit like that. But they still been holding this man hostage. So I don't know. Now that this shit done come out, other teams might be leery about trying to trade for him amongst these allegations.
That's why I say it's a bigger picture because, all right, let's say like all of this shit is a facade. Like I'm not negating none of these women's allegations. So what happens if Deshaun somehow get from under all of this? His stock like it take a tremendous hit now. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So like
a team might not want to give
up 3 first-round picks for somebody with all these allegations on him. So they don't know what he's gonna do when they get on his team. So now it's like you don't. It's that's what I'm saying. It's a lot that goes with this. Like it's a lot.
We ain't never seen nothing like this in the instant where a franchise quarterback wanted out. Now all of a sudden allegations are coming out about sexual harassment, inappropriate touching and shit like that. So it's nasty, man. It's nasty. I'm just interested to see how this shit play out. But I didn't know that you brought up the PJ Tucker shit. Like I didn't think that would have really been a big thing for you, man. To be honest,
in the last year and a half, Texas sports been taking just like a fucking haul on me, man. I'm telling you, like it's hurt. You breaking up the Astros, you know what I'm saying? The Rockets breaking up, Texans leaving, all sorts of shit. I'm like, I might as well be a Dynamos fan. We got a hockey team and a soccer team nobody talks about.
That Astro situation was nasty.
That Astro situation was super nasty.
Fan, you know what I'm saying? I'm not watching no more Astros games. I'm not watching no Rockets games. PJ, you know what I'm saying? I think the funniest shit I saw, they had dudes leaving the locker room with all sorts of sneaker boxes and shit. They were like, yeah, PJ gone for good. I'm like, dog, don't do this. I'm like, it's not gonna be the same going to the sneaker summit and not being able to walk past dude and be like, nah, you my size. I'm gonna need those shoes off your feet right now.
I think y'all got a bright future. I think y'all got a bright future though, like with Kenyon Martin's son, Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood. I mean, obviously y'all still been losing games, but I think those three are really gonna be like the staple for y'all going forward. I know I've been hearing Victor Oladipo want out. He want to go to like Miami or something. Of course, John Wall is there. I would keep John, honestly, like to transition into the new guys.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna put it like I'm gonna say this, and I've been saying this for the last however many years. Whenever people bring up the Rockets, it seems like they always want to bring up like 94, 95 Rockets and their expectation for this new team. And it's very unfair. They keep bringing up like, yeah, let's bring back the 94, 95 Rockets and this thing. And like, we're playing with a completely different, we're playing in a different.
Man, the league is different now.
Yeah, so you're not getting the same aspect from what you used to watch. You could be a fan, say you're a fan, go watch the game, enjoy yourself, but stop making that unfair expectation even then, like that's a lot of like that's like being a little brother. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You got this older brother. He's done all these things in high school, and now your parents are looking at you like, why can't you be more like your brother? That's unfair. That's some hateful. Like that's some hateful. I would never. If anything, I would never tell somebody to be like somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You are you for a reason. You have a certain uniqueness to yourself. You bring something different to a table. But people expecting you to be exactly like somebody else. That's unfair. So um,
Who did PJ get traded to? Was it the Bucks?
Yeah, he went to the Bucks.
What's the Bucks gonna do?
Mm-hmm. Who you got winning the chip this year?
I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. Like Texas sports right now is not my big forte. I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to keep off. I've been trying to stay off the ESPN app and shit like that. But Twitter brings everything to me, so that shit it sucks. Shit sucks. So I'm like, I gotta focus back on this music scene and shit like that.
Word. So what you got coming up as far as like music? I know you like you say you done the pop-up shops. You got any type of like events coming up that you might be doing that again, or what you got going on?
420 show. If anything, Currency's supposed to be in Houston, so I'm gonna go see Currency. There's Houston artists like Young Deji and D Flowers that's supposed to be performing, so I'm gonna go see them and try and document them. But as far as like the future is concerned, we're still trying to line things up to have an official space for the Houston Hip Hop Museum. I talked to the curator Shelby Stewart about advancement and trying to help her find spaces and how we could start to put out merchandise or something to where like constantly doing pop-ups in the city to where people will come out, spend money, we get the money for the tickets, and that puts forward for the actual for the actual space.
Mm-hmm.
There's they keep expanding the Museum of Fine Arts here in Houston. There's always a new segment within the museum. It's a beautiful museum. But you mean to tell me a black woman can't build a hip hop museum in her city? You know what I'm saying? We have enough space downtown to where, shit, you can give us a strip center. We could bust down all the walls in the strip center and have that whole strip center filled with nothing but like Houston rap memorabilia and like all sorts of like just to know that like I got all sorts of fun facts, Houston rap fun facts. Lil O was one of the first artists to have a Destiny's Child feature.
Yeah, that record is actually hard. That record is fire.
Can't Stop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Young Stars Knocking Pictures Off Your Walls was actually a crisscross beat, and Jermaine Dupri even made that known. What's it called? Chamillionaire winning the Grammy, being one of the first platinum selling artists from Houston to do that, and then it's a lot. There's a lot of history behind the city and whatnot.
Yeah, y'all definitely a staple. Y'all are definitely a staple in rap, man. So I know y'all history just go way back, and it's very like it's a lot of quality shit. You see what I'm saying? I gotta get. I know I've been telling you, man, but I definitely gotta get out to Houston and come fuck with you, man.
Yeah, I gotta get out there too.
Come on. We got barbecue spots. We got beautiful women.
That's the first place I want to check out is y'all barbecue spots.
Oh, definitely. I gotta get you. I'm gonna take you to Burns. I've been on this thing lately. I haven't been eating pork. I've been taking pork out of my diet.
Okay.
And I'm 4 months without pork, so I might just have to take you to the vegan spot too.
Oh, I ain't fucking with that then. I ain't fucking with it. You gotta take me to the. You could just drop me off at the other spot and go do your thing at the vegan spot.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you to Burns, and you get your fill for brisket sandwiches, jalapeno sausage sandwiches, shit like that.
Word. I never had the brisket before, so I want to check that shit out.
Oh, what? All right. So we definitely gonna get you set up at Burns and be like, listen, I'd be like, bring half that bitch. Bring it. We're gonna sit here, have a smorgasbord. We're gonna sit down. Just let you dive into whatever you want to get into. So ribs, uh, chicken sausage, pork sausage, boudin, all sorts of shit. We're gonna make sure you're nice and fed.
Word, appreciate that.
I'm telling you that the price you gonna look at yourself afterwards and be like, yeah, this is definitely we're gonna have to get back to the gym after this one. We like to.
Well, shit, my shit be running all so damn fast. It probably would make a difference, but I feel you.
But the vegan spot, I'm telling you, if I were to get you to go to like Houston Sauce Company, it's they got vegan chicken sandwiches that's made from I think it was made from cauliflower. They mashed a bunch of cauliflower together, breaded it perfectly and everything. And niggas was like, I took my partner there and he was like, yeah, this is a fire chicken sandwich and everything. I had him sit in the car. I went and got the food and he just got in the car. And he started eating it. He's like, damn, this shit is great. I'm like, did you know you're eating cauliflower right now? Because he's one of those dudes that like, you seen the tweets where it's like, if a nigga ever gives me buffalo wings and I bite into it and it's cauliflower, I'm gonna murder somebody. He's one of those types of dudes. So when I sat him down and I waited till he finished all his food. I was like, you said the whole cauliflower sandwich, that wasn't chicken. He's like, dog, stop playing with me. And I showed him the receipt and I showed him that the Instagram page and whatnot. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, shit was fire. I'm like, I know it was. You just gonna switch up the tempo once in a while.
I feel you, man. I might take you up. I might take you up on it. I'm on my Chad Johnson shit when it comes to shit like that, man. I don't go as far. I don't go as far as him, but I feel him on that shit, man. I feel him.
He never had no injuries, man.
Yeah, never had no injuries.
That man out here wholeheartedly eating McDonald's. I'm like,
that man said I built a callus in my body. I never had. He's like, how long you been doing the video? You got injured, and that so crazy when he was having that conversation with Cam, because I remember even before this is like probably like a year and a half ago, they actually had an article about how Cam had started getting more injuries after he switched to the vegan diet. And I was already shitting on vegans from the jump. Anyway, I was like, see, you fuck around. And he started doing this shit.
Lost all them nutrients.
And he started getting all these injuries. I'm not, and of course, I'm joking. Like, I'm playing around and I'm being serious at the same time. But it's like, people do their vegan thing. That's cool. Like me, I have more of the Chad Johnson type mentality. So my go-to fast food is like more so like chicken sandwiches and shit like that. So, that usually be my thing. I'm still gonna eat Five Guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go get that shit. I'm gonna eat that shit. So that's how I'm rocking, man.
You rocking with Five Guys?
Five Guys is amazing, man. I don't like how niggas trying to.
Hey, come get this Whataburger. Stop playing.
I be hearing a lot about that Whataburger.
I be hearing a lot about that shit, man.
Whataburger is the motherfucking truth. I'll put that up and I'll put that on.
And I won't dispute it because I never had
any burger spot. If you take me to any burger spot in America, I was out in California. We done had In-N-Out. We done had different burger spots out there. Trash, garbage. I put money up. I'll literally take out my savings and put money on the table and like, I got all my money on Whataburger. That's how I stand on it.
Word.
And niggas was like, nah, stop playing. And we're like, no, if they bring back, they got burgers that they do like limited time. There's these limited time burgers, and I think one of my favorite burgers is called the Monterey Melt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 patties, 2 slices of white cheese. It's not Swiss. I can't recall exactly what cheese it was, but white cheese, sauteed.
Was it provolone?
Red pepper, sauteed green and red peppers. With jalapeno ranch on it, a side of fries, and a large like root beer or some shit like that. If you're in the Dr. Pepper, then Dr. Pepper, whatever. You can't fight that. It's a good. That's like everything just sits together. It sits properly. It tastes good. And they were like, I done had niggas come from California and be like, Whataburger is trash. I'm like, bro, you gotta fight me in the parking lot, bro. You gotta fight me in the parking lot. You can't come down here and say no blasphemous shit like that. There's 3 things in Texas we know. There's Bibles, burgers, and pistols. That's it. Barbecue, Bibles, and pistols.
Gotcha.
You can't take church. You can't take no church. You can go anywhere in the state of Texas. You can't go nowhere without seeing one church. There's like churches paraded all throughout Houston. Barbecue, top tier. Can't fight it.
Got you.
And then guns. You can't take Joe Biden out here talking about we're taking guns from the citizens. Nigga, it's my right to bear arms.
Yeah, that ain't never happening.
you know what I'm saying? The homies got a few, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got guns here. I feel like it's necessary, honestly, especially with what's going on in this
Hell
day
yeah.
and age. It's necessary, but you gotta be smart about how how you move with it. If you own a pistol, at least know everything about that pistol. Know the gun laws. Make sure you have your license to carry. You know what I'm saying? Concealed. All that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the homie just installed the homie got like whenever I go to his house, this man got like 8 guns. He got an install. He has a pistol holder, a pistol holster indoor on his car. He has the discreet on hip joint. He got secret compartments in his house in case some shit goes down.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm not paranoid. He's like, I'm thoroughly prepared. There's a difference. Got a, the little stash away books that
Yeah.
we have in hollow centers. He got a Bible. He opened up the Bible. The pistol is sitting right there. He was like, but I think that's like one of my favorite out of all his guns. Because he got like he got a pearl handle on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, because this one's my shepherd. I'm like, why you call it the shepherd? He's like, because it's gonna send you to be with the Lord. You keep fucking around. he like same thing with like in the Kill Bill scene when Shorty was trying to
Yeah.
and she had the gun in the box.
Uh-huh.
He got a box the Travis Scott Reese's Puffs.
Yeah.
The box is empty. The pistol is in the box. That's it. This man, he got compartments all throughout the house.
Hey, niggas gotta be on this shit. You an hour behind, right?
Yeah, it's what time is it there? Yeah, it's like 12:08 here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't have no jet lag issues, man. But yeah, man, I'm gonna definitely come out there and fuck with you, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, man. It's been a long time coming, So I was glad to finally get you on this shit, man. I appreciate you being on here, man.
We was ready to run our mouth. You see, I came prepared. You know what I'm saying? We got everything.
Yeah, and your history too. That was the main reason why I wanted to have you on here, because I know you a hip hop, like a real hip hop historian. I know a lot of people like to throw that term around, but like you got actual ties like within your family and all that shit. So I appreciated you dropping that knowledge and that Houston culture on the pod today, man, for sure.
I'm glad to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
For sure.
I'm gonna have some Houston-based, Houston-based rap gifts and whatnot ready for you when you touch down. We're gonna send you home with a bag of Whataburger. You know what I'm saying? We got motherfuckers. We got Papados in the airport. It depends on what airport you come through.
Mm-hmm.
They got Papados and Whataburger in the airport. People get on their flights and leave Texas with all sorts of Cajun food and Whataburger. Had a whole flight smelling good. And then get home and be like, I don't care if the burger is cold, I'm still eat this motherfucker.
Word.
It's that good.
Word. You got any shout outs?
Shout out to y'all first and foremost for, letting me come speak on y'all's outlet. Shout out hip hop, Houston Hip Hop Museum, Shelby Stewart, Donnie Houston Podcast, all Houston legends. Big House Archive. Just, shout out my people. So we the future is here. We got many things to come. And also to any Texas sports teams, get y'all shit together, please. I got my Astros fitted on because my haircut looking busted, but I really should have just wore this whole backwards, but We'll figure that out another day. Hopefully they can get it together, and hopefully we see some championships or something significant from all these teams. But until then, I'm about to go to a Dynamos game. Y'all gonna see me in an orange jersey watching soccer. I don't even watch soccer like that. So y'all see me at a Dynamos game, just let's be easy and let's go Dynamos.
All right, Mo, you got anything else you want to?
Nah, I'm ready to get out to Houston, man. I need to tap in, man, for real.
You know
man.
what I'm saying? Come shop, come eat, come enjoy yourself. It's a beautiful place to be. You know what I'm saying? Take a day trip. Go from Houston to Galveston. Let y'all hit the water and shit like that. Go get some good seafood out in Galveston.
I'm
Oysters,
with that.
all sorts of shit.
Word.
hopefully y'all come in crawfish season. I'll have y'all sitting at the table and be like, we got 2-3 pounds per person. Let y'all, get down on a few pounds.
That's more Mo speed. I ain't really.
me. Mike,
I ain't
don't
with the
eat
seafood.
so I'm with that. I never had crawfish neither, so I'm with that.
It's good. People, it's a monotonous project. I mean, it's a very monotonous process. You got this little, you know what I'm saying? You got this little crawfish. You got to break the tail, peel the meat out of it, and everything like that. And they're like, well, you doing that? And you're like, it's too much work for just that little piece of meat. But I don't know. It's good. It tastes good. So people get full off like a pound, and they're like, damn, like, how did this happen? And it's that small, and you're like, how did it happen? Shit, you don't even have to get crawfish. They do full boil bags with like a soft crab.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that popping around this way.
I just saw one of the homies told me, he was like, come to the crawfish boil. He about to do a crawfish boil. He just ordered lobsters. This nigga about to throw full blown after he does the crawfish. He gonna crawfish boil the lobsters. So I think I might have to go get me a lobster for that one. So
Word.
let's see about that.
Yeah, man. Well, appreciate everybody, tuned in, hanging in with us. Always shout out to the YouTube subscribers, SoundCloud, iTunes, as always. Appreciate everybody doing their thing in the city too. As always, shout out to everybody in the city of Charleston. And we just always keep this thing rolling, man. So Mo, like how we say all the time.
Yeah, man. So if you hear anything on this episode to get you in your feelings, always remember,
we're just some messages.
We out.